Hey guys! I know it's been a little while, but I'm back with some more videos for you. And there's lots more to come. I have been busy because I have been adventuring around Europe. So let's get started with this one. In June, me and my partner decided to get Eurorail passes. Which are essentially unlimited train passes to go anywhere in the EU. So we planned out a trip pretty much Western Europe for the first month, and then for the second month we plan to do some places in Eastern Europe. So our first place that we went to was Germany. I started in Paris and Chris started in Austria, in Vienna, and we met up in Frankfurt. And so that was the first place that we went to on our trip. I had never been to Frankfurt before, and I really loved it. I've always wanted to go to Germany, had a whole trip planned with my sister before COVID hit, and obviously had to cancel. So finally making it to Germany was pretty freaking cool. When people ask me what some of my favorite things are when I travel, sometimes it's hard to describe, because one of my favorite things to do when I get to certain places is just walk around and really get a feel for the place and just sort of spontaneously go and find fun things to do. Obviously in Germany there's so much to do, but definitely exploring the historic sites. This part here was really cool because this is Old Town, and the Old Town was actually destroyed, or mostly destroyed, in the war, but it was rebuilt historically accurate. So the buildings look new, but they're all based off of the original buildings that were there once upon a time. So it was pretty cool getting to see Old Town in Frankfurt. Aw, aren't we so cute? Anyway. So yeah, there's amazing museums in Frankfurt. There's great restaurants. Old Town, like I said, I think was probably my favorite. But there's interesting things to see on all corners of the city. This was a really cool place. This is the cathedral, the main cathedral in Frankfurt. I'm not going to try and say the name because I will butcher it horribly, but I will put it in the description so you guys can know and go check it out when you take your trip to Germany. This was a really cool area as well, really fun old little pubs, and these were like fun apartments. This little area here is called Sachsenhausen. There we go. Hopefully my pronunciation wasn't too bad. So I realized I was just talking about the Eurorail pass, but a little more clarification. So there's actually two things. There's the Interrail pass and the Eurorail pass. They're essentially the same thing. The only difference is that if you are an EU citizen, then you would get a Eurorail pass. If you are from outside of the EU and want to travel around and see the EU, you would get an Interrail pass. So it's really fun. You can get them for, like, I think the smallest amount of time is 2 weeks. And then I think the longest amount of time is 3 months. And we got ours for 2. So it was a lot of fun. This little marketplace was pretty cool too. I'd never seen this before. These are, I think, cornflowers, and then they fry them and eat them in this batter. Never tried it before, but it looked really cool. So one of the other things I really like about Frankfurt, and a lot of other places too, actually, like, you know, living in Paris right now, you see a lot of really cool graffiti and street art, murals, stuff like that. So it's always fun going to new places and seeing the different artists and doing fun things on the walls in their local place.
Hello, you were coming close.
They're not supposed to feed duck bread.
of course, Chris took me somewhere I could see cute animals. So this park here, there's baby ducklings, and I was in heaven.
Oh, they just jumped out of the water. You're so cute.
People often ask how it is that we're able to afford traveling the way that we do. And the secret is stay in hostels. We're young, we're fun, so we don't mind right now doing stuff like that. Obviously, if it's cheaper in some places, we'll stay in an Airbnb, but it's so easy to stay in fun hostels. You get to meet cool people from all over the world, and it's a really cheap way to travel around, especially in Europe. You know, like I said, you can get a Eurorail pass, you can get an Interrail pass. There's cheap flights all the time. It's one of the only places in the world where you can really go from country to country to country, and so quickly. Like, you know, we're both from Canada, and Canada's a wide and big country, so I took a bus trip across Canada when I was 16, and it took 4.5 days to go from one side of the country to the other side. Whereas, you know, in 4.5 days in Europe, you could go through like 20 countries. So we planned our trip out pretty nicely in the fact that we sort of found a home base, which was Frankfurt for Germany, at least our first part in Germany. And then what we did was we were able to take day trips to other cities that were close by. So the first place we ended up going was Mannheim. It was a pretty small place, but it's really pretty. And again, we were only there for the day, so there was only so much that we could see, but they do have a lot of really cool events that happen in Mannheim. But I definitely recommend going and checking it out at least once on a day trip. It's fun. Go in the summer, you'll enjoy yourself. So the second day trip that we did was we went to Cologne. It was crazy busy there. Like, look at the train station. It was madness. There's a lot of people. It was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I still highly recommend going in the summertime. I think it's the best time to go walk around, see the sights, and you'll see one of my favorite things about going in the summer pretty soon. I've talked about this before in past videos, but the religious architecture in Europe is just spectacular. The Cologne Cathedral is amazing, like amazing. The number one for me is the cathedral in the first district in Vienna, but the Cologne Cathedral was definitely a close second. It's breathtaking. So my favorite part of Cologne was definitely the fact that it was such a musical city. It seemed like every corner we turned there was live music playing somewhere, in a pub, on the street, and one of our favorite German bands is actually from there. So it's a great place to go in the summer. This is so picturesque. I don't know, I couldn't get a clear answer if those houses and this building is a historic site, but this is the cutest place in Cologne to take pictures. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a place to get pictures with whoever you're traveling with. This is the place. Ready? And of course, beer. Gotta get some beer when you're in Germany. Are you even living if you've gone to Germany and haven't drank the beer? Unless you don't drink alcohol, in which case, totally fine. But I'm sure you could probably find some non-alcoholic beer. Gotta try the German beer. So I really truly loved every place that we traveled to in Germany, but I have to say Heidelberg is something special. It was probably my favorite place that we traveled to in all of Germany. It's not super big. This is the more modern area, like the shopping center, but it's just like this small town that's sort of medieval in a sense. It's not quite like some other places that have been really upkept medieval places in Europe, but it's got definitely some like medieval fairy tale vibes, and you'll see why in a second. But the main attraction is the Heidelberg Castle, and it was spectacular. We actually ended up showing up in Heidelberg a little bit later than we were expecting, but it turned out great because by the time we actually got up to the castle, it was sunset and we got the most spectacular views.
Don't take any of the banana one.
If I tell you I didn't, does that count?
Did you take some of the banana one?
So to get up to Heidelberg Castle, you do have to walk up quite a hefty amount of stairs. I think there is a back road that takes you there, but I'm not entirely sure. I think we tried to go down it to get back, but got a little lost. So go up the stairs to get there. I don't know how accessible it is. So just be prepared. There's lots of stairs. There was also some abandoned houses. I love some abandoned houses. We decided to go adventure in them. They were right near the castle, so who knows how old they are. Pretty cool though. The castle is broken down in some areas, but for the most part, it's pretty well preserved. And you can actually go in the castle. You can go check out all different parts of it. Unfortunately, the day that we were there, they had this huge event, so they had blocked off the inside of the castle. We didn't get to go in, but we got to see some of the courtyard. So go on a day and make sure that there's not an event happening, because if you want to check out castles, it is a beautiful place to do so. Overall, we had so much fun in Germany. I highly recommend these places to check out if Germany is a place on your travel list. And I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed. There's lots more adventures to come from the summer and beyond, so stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button.